Hi, Cancer rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 20th of May until the 26th of May. This is a massive week. We have got the nodal axis getting triggered by every single personal planet, really. Cancer, you are known as the protector of the zodiacal signs. But right now, the universe is asking you, are you protecting your peace? Let me just adjust the time clock. Are you protecting your peace or are you just hiding from your own power? May 20th onwards, we are stepping right onto this massive karmic tripwire. The nodes of fate are sitting at the final critical degrees of your third and ninth house. This means your core worldview, your higher education, your beliefs, and how you communicate locally are up for their final exam. The personal planets are about to trigger this axis like a landmine, forcing you to look at where you have let small-minded overthinking keep you from stepping onto that global stage that you are potentially meant to be on. So the very first aspect of the week is Mars and Venus sextile. Mars is in your 11th house and Venus is in your first house. So Venus is sitting directly on your ascendant, right in your first house, the house of self, physical body, and personal branding. So she is giving you this charisma, that soft power, that magnetic presence. Meanwhile, Mars in Taurus wants you to achieve your goals. It wants you to mobilize your network. It wants you to go after your long-term goals. And this is pretty much a kind of like a popularity combo for you. So let's sit down in front of the camera, for example. Let's update our professional photographs. Let's launch a networking campaign. Your community sees your friends see your value effortlessly because your presence is backed up by that solid group support, that solid friend support. Um, May 22nd is most likely the busiest day of the week. It's a high velocity day because you've got like five aspects going on at the same time. That particular Venus is actually trining your north node, giving you that green light to go after your higher path, to find a meaning to life, to do something that you truly enjoy. It gives you the green light to publish something. It maybe it's an intuitive download about a relocation plan, for example, or a fated opportunity to publish your work, or a profound realization about your spiritual directions. Trust your personal vision. We don't have to get involved in gossips and overthinking with Venus being, sorry, South Node being in your third house. Even Mercury is making a sextile to Saturn on the very same day. So you are working behind the scenes on a career goal. You are clearing out some of your potentially psychological fears so that you can stabilize your career. So again, this is very good for uh, organizing your business infrastructure, kind of drawing up a business plan as well. Or, but also maybe you are planning to resign, for example, from your job, or you're trying to look at legalities of how to do that. Or maybe you are preparing, for example, a contractual agreement, or you're preparing a bit of a speech, for example, a speech that you would like to put out there to the public. It's kind of like building up a professional blueprint. Sun makes a conjunction to Uranus, also in your 12th house. Now, this is the very first conjunction since about 8 decades ago. And that's like a lightning bolt to your subconscious. So expect sudden, shocking insights, unexpected dreams, maybe some sleepless nights as well, unfortunately. Or it's about liberating yourself from old psychological blocks. It's a unprompted realization about what has been keeping you small. So therefore, it could lead to a breakthrough. Still on the same day, Venus is actually squaring your Neptune, and Neptune is placed in your 10th house. So this could be a bit of an indecisive type of element because it's a bit of a blind spot around your goals or, for example, what to study or what type of image I want to be kind of like a professional image that I want to be creating. Or you can actually fall in love with an idealized version of a career, but there could be miscalculations as well connected to professional arenas, or but there's a lot of wishful thinking. Like, I wish I had a better job. I wish I had, more followers. I wish I had a career breakthrough. But Aries is all about action. So, what is that vision I have connected to professions, and how can I go after it? And the sun is going to be lifting up this fog a little bit because the sun in a couple of days' time is going to be making a sextile to Neptune also. So we're going to start seeing our vision clearer and we're going to be able to figure out the practical steps. Also, on the 22nd, Mercury goes out of bound until June 14th. So, for the next few weeks, the planet of communication is operating completely off the grid. So, your brain is essentially plugged into this kind of collective unconscious socket. You will have brilliant, totally mad insights. People would kind of consider it as mad, but actually it could, because these informations might be coming from a different dimension. So you might become like you are ahead of your time. People do not understand you. Your dreams can become a lot louder. Your intuition can be very unfiltered as well. So you can really use this period of time, for example, if you are an astrologer, to do readings for others because those intuitions would be coming from different dimensions. And it's kind of like you are switching on your intuitive power. This is also about creative ideas. They could be coming to you through dreams, meditations, and so forth. It's a bit of a channeling, really. Yeah, there will be people who aren't ready to hear these insights, though. So you don't have to be over explaining yourself, just maybe walk away. Um, Now, like I said, the sun is going to be making that sextile to Neptune. So that ideological fog is going to start lifting up a little bit, and then you're going to start seeing your true potentials of your recent goals, for example, or the career. With Neptune and Venus, for example, maybe a lot of promises were made to you by bosses and companies, and maybe it's a bit of a disappointment and it's not getting delivered. And the sun is kind of like doing that worldview audit there, and it's going to be spotlighting where exactly we might have gone wrong. But the sun is also squaring the nodes as well. Meanwhile, Mars is actually making a sextile and a trine to the nodes. So this is quite a crossroad, really. The South Node in your third house has made you overly reliant on micromanaging small details, stressing over everyday communication, obsessing over the logistics of the work potentially that you do, and so forth. But the Sun in your 12th house is demanding total surrender, deep spiritual work, a retreat from the noise. To listen to your inner gut feelings. You don't have to be backing everything up with data and logic. It says you cannot use local daily distractions to escape your higher calling. Mars is in your 11th house, right? Helping you by the trine to the South Node, meaning your current steady drive within your network and community, or focusing on your long-term goals are your best operational assets. So that use that community backing to step fully into that ninth house North Node path, which is about trusting your grand vision, embarking on higher learning, embracing the expansion, but stop overthinking the data. Um, May 26th is most likely the most volatile day of the entire week. It's a heavy confrontation, it's a power struggle type of energy between your public network and your financial deep dives. Mars is in your 11th house, squaring that Pluto in Aquarius in your 8th house. This is a power struggle between your friendships, audience, your professional associations, and your shared resources. So, a group and a friend of yours might be acting incredibly stubborn, trying to force kind of like a financial framework on you, or it can feel like that someone is trying to overpower you. Meanwhile, Pluto in your eighth house is demanding absolute sovereign truth regarding your talent, investments, deep psychological contracts. Um, it can also indicate potentially arguments over money with a friend of yours, for example. It could also indicate that you are really trying to march forward towards your long-term goals, but unfortunately, you have got debts that you have to be paying back. And this can cause kind of like this internal turmoil. It can feel like that I'm hitting walls. Thank God the sun is trining Pluto, so that could be a saving grace, which is sitting in your 12th house, exactly on the same day, by the way. So this is about psychological awareness. This is that I'm not going to be getting into this aggressive kind of public battle of wills. Instead, I'm going to step back into my little 12th house power. And I'm going to observe, I'm going to be private, I'm going to do my inner spiritual stuff. I'm going to be trying to look at the power struggles neutrally. And you can disarm the entire dynamics just by quietly changing your energy behind the scenes rather than trying to fight against something. It really feels like that instead of getting into certain type of drama, for example, in your social circles, I'm just going to kind of keep quiet and then walk away. Maybe I'm not going to be taking sides. Venus is squaring Pallas Athene, and Venus is in your first house, right? Pallas is in your 10th. So your personal desire for comfort or aesthetics, or kind of like you are trying to beautify yourself, are very clashing with that career move or a boss being too demanding. So it's about having to balance kind of a little bit your personal presentation with the tactical boundaries of your career legacy. But the sun is making a sextile to Vesta, so you are going to be more devoted to work behind the scenes. Whatever is going down in your professional arena this week, it's going to be a realization that, you know what, I'm going to have to start working on my own project. It's a bit of a grounding type of energy, really. It's about I'm ready to do the private soul work. This is a very spectacular day for working behind the scenes on your public mission, or processing kind of like the sacred truth that you have uncovered, for example, in your private world as well. This could be brilliant to work again behind the scenes on your career strategies. And then the bestest insights could be coming from just quietly retreating. Imagine that 12th house is kind of like being the generator right now for your brand. But also, this would indicate that I just want to escape work a little bit. And maybe I want to be able to sleep a little bit. What it really feels like is that all these nodal axis um, triggers are just paving the path for Uranus next month because Uranus is going to be running into the nodes with a square. It really feels like that you are looking for your highest path, you are trying to expand. It feels like all these aspects, from the unexpected subconscious shocks of that Sun Uranus, the intense financial battles of that Mars and Pluto, are just showing you exactly where you are letting small scale daily routines or local validations dictate your world. The universe is somehow demanding that you clear this clutter of your mind, of what you think of yourself, of your immediate environment, and to design this broader, kind of like more intuitive global path. Because next month Uranus is going to square your nodal axis, creating a massive sudden disruption in your communication or relocation sector. And then if you do this raw internal sorting now, I think June can bring you a spectacular breakthrough. It can bring you sudden opportunities that you might not have kind of like thought of. And that's why you have to be preparing yourself for all these. So Cancer, it really feels like that it's all about you having to feel more lovable. It's about being more affectionate, for example, when it comes to your public actions, like a bit more relatable. I think it's about attracting attention if you want to. So this is a great week for marketing as well. There is a lot of ambition right now in your chart, but it looks like that you are working on these ambitions behind the scenes. Maybe you are a little bit worried that it's no time just yet to kind of put something out there. And maybe with that Venus Neptune, you cannot exactly see clearly what the exact timing should be of launching all those, ideas that you've got. Maybe you are actually Venus and Neptune might be telling you that you have been chasing a goal, a kind of like an illusion connected to your ambitions. Maybe also this could indicate that the public or the boss is kind of like misunderstanding of where you're coming from. But I think it is encouraging you to be able to dream, to believe, to put your belief in yourself rather than putting it into others. Because the problem could be here is that you just get bogged down by little tiny details of any type of project, and most likely because you are scared to go towards the path. Watch out for that Venus Neptune because it could also indicate addictions, like being addicted to work, being addicted to the social image that I create. And therefore, the question is, do I come across authentically? The 12th house activations are all about secrets. So these might be, telling you that it's not the right time just yet to talk publicly about your vision, for example, or share something with the public right now, even though with all those sextiles to the 10th house. But maybe we just need to be waiting a few more days before we do that. You can feel a huge pressure to kind of talk back to that boss, or you can feel the pressure to reveal the truth. And it really feels like that you are being empowered by planets to do so. But let's just wait for Mars and Pluto to kind of go away so that it's not going to be bringing as much kind of confrontations. I think that Pluto Mars is super good, by the way, to understand people's psychological motives as well. Or even it's very good for understanding what the people want really. So good luck, Cancer Rising, and I will see you next week. Take care. Oh, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and let's get together next week to see again in depth what the future holds for us. Bye bye.